Hello, and welcome to another edition of the Grandstanders Live. I'm your host, Scott Kerman, and I'm joined by my usual cohorts, Uncle Joe McLaughlin, and he's the barber to the stars, Hollywood Pete McGilvery. Well, we have another great show for you tonight, so boys, let's get it started with the Old Town team, the Red Sox. So we've been very critical of Dave Dombrowski and the moves that he's made since he's been with the Red Sox.
I don't think we have been. We all gave him A's for his offseason.
Well,
and that didn't turn out real well.
Yeah, right. Well, we ripped on David Price a little bit. We ripped on Chris Young, who's actually turned out to be a good acquisition.
He's injured. Big improvement.
Kimbrel, would you say the jury's still out on him, right?
Well, he's not being used now.
I like Dombrowski, and I like everything he's done.
Right. Oh, really? Even the Kimbrel move?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I do. I really do. I think Kimbrel's hit a little spot there, but Dombrowski's done some really good things. He's addressed the needs. Nobody's talking about the arms anymore. I mean, it depends on tonight with this kid, but I mean, by and large, I mean, he's addressed the needs of this team, and I thought pretty well.
He's going to have to do some more because that bullpen is paper thin now, and they've got 43 games and 44 nights.
Yeah, that's a tough stretch.
And they've got...
Right.
Well, we're going to find out.
DL, Tazawa's on the DL. Koji's on the DL. I mean, they're paper thin.
Well, a lot of teams are getting paper thin after July 4th, after the All-Star game.
Right.
That's when things start to, the rubber meets the road.
Right, and that's what you have to depend on your minor league depth.
Yeah.
But I'm ready to give him his props.
Yeah.
Because I love the moves last week, and you got to love them. Let's start with Aaron Hill. Guy, well, I guess
that was a nice pickup.
He's a good pro.
Guy can play third base. He can play first. Before the All-Star break, he probably ended up winning them 2 games.
Yeah.
Right? Gives them flexibility as far as third base, putting Shaw, on the bench when he's got left-handers.
He does a lot of things well.
Yeah, good clubhouse guy, solid play. Yeah. So that was a great move, and I don't think we gave up much.
And how about Ziegler? Now, well-timed, just perfect timing, bringing him in when everyone's going down.
Right. If you're a high school pitcher and you can only throw about 75 miles an hour, work on a sidearm delivery, right?
Yeah.
Because it looks like the batters have no interest in being, going up there against him.
I think, again, he fits the need that they needed badly.
Right.
Hey, it was like he anticipated the need even before it happened.
Yeah.
There's got to be 28 other teams that would, or 29 other teams that would want him, right?
I think there's a lot of teams that are looking at the Sox and Dombrowski and saying, geez, where were we? How did that, why didn't we do that?
Right.
Well, they're creatures of habit. They're waiting for the trade deadline. And they figure, well, that's when everyone does their wheeling and dealing. And he's beating them all to the punch.
He's proactive.
He did a good
That's
job.
what you want.
Good job.
But there's a lot of teams that are on the fence now. Are we buyers and sellers? And I think obviously, and the teams that are buyers are thinking, well, hopefully we can get guys who are going to become teams that are going to become sellers. And then all of a sudden we think, well, the moves could possibly be over, and he acquires Drew Pomerantz, an all-star.
That's pulling a rabbit out of the hat.
A lefty, a 27-year-old lefty.
Yeah.
For a hyped-up 18-year-old pitcher.
Extremely hyped up.
Extremely hyped up.
Yeah.
Now, of course, because I love conspiracy theories, all right, did the Red Sox, because the whole Espinosa thing, didn't that kind of come recently, the whole hype?
Well, Pedro went and looked at him, and that was all, the comparisons.
Pedro loves him.
But do you think that's to build up the value?
No, I do think that the kid's a real prospect,
right?
But he's 18, and I think they got groomed around the same time. He said the same thing: take one out, put one in.
Yeah.
Because 18-year-old arms aren't something you can depend on. He's at least 4 years away.
Right. So I bet he's a 20-to-1 shot to even make it to the major leagues.
And in 4 years, do you still have Mookie? Do you still have LBJ? Do you still have these guys?
Not in 4 months. You won't have Big Papi. So,
exactly.
Right. And this has really become. We thought it was going to be the Big Papi show circus, right? Where all of a sudden it was a big retirement in September. What it really is this is our big window to have one of the greatest Red Sox players of all time, who's having one of the greatest seasons of all time. We need to win right now. Right?
Well, I mean, while he's hitting like that, I think all this came into play and say, okay, like just 2 weeks ago we were talking about, are we sellers?
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
What are we doing with our guys? So all of a sudden it's clear that Dombrowski's saying, hey, we're in this. We're going to go for it now. We can win.
Yeah, and in a perfect situation, Espinosa is an all-star pitcher. Oh, funny because we just got one, right? So great moves. Now, is he done? I name a couple.
No, because now he still has to shore up the bullpen again.
All right, so is it going to come from the minor league depth? Now, I have a theory. There are 4 guys who could go. Well, Vasquez is obviously down, but I consider him on the 25-man roster. Shaw, Holt, Swihart, and Vasquez. One of those could go for a reliever. Is that possible?
Okay, now wait a minute.
Vasquez and Swihart.
I know you want to get rid of Holt. I know you do.
Yeah, I do want to get rid of him.
But let me ask you this. Vasquez has been gone for a while now, right, Joseph? So do we miss him?
No. we don't
Obviously,
miss him.
because Sandy Leon's doing crazy things.
Yeah, right.
You know.
Yeah.
But we don't miss Vasquez, right?
No.
Swihart, do we miss him?
No.
No, but I think potentially that, he's
No,
a player.
no, yeah,
but we don't miss him, no.
But when Holt was out,
The Brockster.
you missed him.
No, you're right. You missed his versatility.
Did you go to the promotion last night and
No,
get your pet
the
Brock?
Red Sox had the worst promotion in the history.
Which will probably
When you
be-
have Nesson's Tom Karen ragging on the promotion, you know
Wow.
it's bad. Basically, they collected a bunch of rocks.
It didn't even have a face on it.
Yeah, it didn't have a face. They got a little hair and a Red Sox hat, and they called that a promotion.
A pet Brock.
Pet Brock.
Last night's game.
Last night, yeah, right. And I think it's great to give people, especially in the bleachers, rocks. Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
For the Yankee series.
Yeah, exactly. And shocked if they don't throw them, right? But make sure not to have cans for beer, right? Because we don't trust them bottles, right? But let's give them rocks. That's worked out really. Because remember they had like bat day once at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
And
It was carnage.
45,000
Yeah.
bats went on
Yeah.
the field.
I remember Bat Day when I was a kid going Fenway.
Club day. Yeah, right. We don't throw in the field.
They gave me that lousy, it was just like a billy club. They
Yeah,
gave me
right. Make sure to club your next door neighbor. All right, so Moncada, obviously I've talked about Moncada. Yoan.
Superman.
Two homers last night.
2 homers. He was actually the MVP of the Futures game.
Yes.
When is he coming? And where is he playing?
Where is he gonna
September
go?
call-up.
Oh, what's that?
Where's he going to go?
Yeah, he's currently playing second base. If
He's
you're
not going there.
No, he's not going there because of Petey, right?
Yeah.
So why aren't the Red Sox playing him at third base or the outfield? Tell me why.
They're treating him with kid gloves down there, and I don't see why they should. It's time right now to start training him to be a corner infielder or outfielder.
But do we really want him wasting home runs in Portland when he could be up here?
Oh, but there's a big difference between Portland and up here.
Right.
So, I mean, they're a half a game out. They don't need him now. I mean,
Right, but
Maybe he's the DH in waiting to, after a Big Papi.
well, at the very least they could have. I mean, this guy. We're talking about also a guy who's 5 tools, who can steal lots of bases. At the very least, he'd be a guy defensive replacement, a guy who could steal a base, right?
well, sometimes they
Would
rush
that make Brock expendable?
better not.
Exactly.
No, but I mean, sometimes you can rush a guy before he's ready, and I mean, they've done that before.
Yeah.
No, they have, but they've also
Blake
brought up a lot
Swihart
of.
right there.
Yeah, I
But they've also brought up a lot of guys from Double A.
Yeah.
That's not
Mookie-
unheard of.
No,
Mookie
no,
did a
no,
great
no.
job, and he was a second baseman and went immediately into the outfield. At the major league level, with not ever playing a game at the minor league level.
So do the Red Sox want to play important games with Brock Holt in left field? Or now I'm
No,
hearing...
and there it is again.
No,
Here
really.
we go with it.
This Brock Holt bias.
Yeah, right. No, but he's a fragile little...
What does he
he's
have to
like,
do?
He's like a jockey. He's so skinny and
Playing to second base and straining an ankle.
Yeah, right. Exactly. He's right. He's fragile.
But he
He's
stretched out for a ball the other night. I said, "Oh, geez, what's he doing?" And
He's
made
not
a
fragile. He
great catch.
plays hard.
No, he plays hard, but we can't depend on him. He's not the
Sure we can.
You
We
think
can't
he's going to
depend
be the
on him because
starting
he
left
runs
fielder
into
for the Boston
walls.
Red Sox
No,
in the
no,
playoffs?
no.
Are
He's
you
not the
comfortable with
answer in
that?
left field.
You're comfortable with him? First game of the playoffs, Brock Holt in left field.
Well, who do you want to put there, Moncada?
No, I want maybe Benintendi. I want
Oh,
somebody.
you want to put Benintendi in there, who's double-A ball.
Right, because the upside is far greater.
In a playoff situation?
Yeah, but we're not waiting around for upside. We need immediate production.
First of all,
in
there's
the
not a chance
playoff game.
Brock Holt lasts the rest of the season. Not a chance.
Well, no, I agree in one way because I think Brock
He's not
is,
a rock.
Brock is not a rock, but he's better off
Couldn't
being the super
couldn't even get a
utility
bobblehead.
guy
Right.
that he can fill in anywhere than being as a regular. He just doesn't really cut it at any position, it seems. But he's a superstar at every position.
Yeah, so what you're saying is when you put more innings into him, he's...
Yeah, well, that's it. He's a guy who should play 2-3 times a week.
I understand what you're saying. He was an all-star last year, the only all-star on the
And
team.
doing that, when he was doing that.
I remember when he repeats that, he just shows you. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
That I actually paid money, not pesos, real U.S. dollars for last season with the Brockster as the only all-star on the team. Keep repeating. You love him.
I like the way he plays.
No, and anyone out here who has a rock, even if it's not a rock from last night, bring it here and we'll give it to Pete. And
That wants that Brock.
Yeah, and we'll just call. I'm going to bring a rock.
There's a lot of souvenirs
We'll even,
going on at the
we'll even make a
ballpark.
face on this
I'm
one.
giving a rock and calling it Brock.
When was Michael Phelps at the Fenway? Because Poppy's wearing his gold medal now. Did you see that?
He is?
Oh my God, he's got a medallion. It looks like a gong.
Well, that's why he can't run it out to first base anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. Michael Phelps, how many Olympics is he gonna? It's like 12, right? Yeah, I don't know. That's bizarre. All right, so we like to talk about insane people, and I think we can put Joe Kelly as officially insane. Joe Kelly continues to be adamant that he would rather be a starting pitcher in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, than be a reliever for the Boston Red Sox. Am I not saying that correctly?
He could be a great, eighth inning setup guy.
Yeah.
With that fastball,
There's
just
no
come in
future
and
for him
load
in
it
the
up.
starting rotation on this team. I mean, you still have, should I say it? Clay is...
No, we're going to go there. We're going to go there.
Yeah, we don't mention that name.
Yeah, right. But is that ridiculous?
Of course it's ridiculous.
Yeah. So, at what point do they cut him? Is this a Will Middlebrooks thing?
I don't think you
where
can
he
cut him
decides he
yet.
wants a party with Jenny Dell instead of go into the Dominican
It
Republic?
depends on how much time he has left on his contract and would he be attracted to someone else, especially the National League.
Right. So I have a theory, okay, because I don't understand once we acquired Drew Pomerantz why Clay Buchholz is still on the team. So I had this vision, and the vision is that the Red Sox is somehow, Dave Dombrowski is going to be able to peddle him for some kind of overpriced reliever before the deadline. Is that the only reason they're keeping him on the roster?
I'd love
Well,
it.
now with Koji hurt,
They need relievers.
they need an arm.
Yeah, but
I
Clay,
think that'd be a great move.
Right.
If you can get something for him, all the power in the
Yeah.
world to you.
but there's a lot of
But what are you going to get now that everyone knows that he's expendable for the Red Sox? What are you going to get? What's his
a
value?
salary dump. You might be able to get a team that's out of it who wants to save some money on a high-priced reliever. That you might be able to get a guy like that, and then you give him Clay, and Clay has some options, and you put him in the rotation.
And
eat
you
some
pick
innings.
up Clay's salary for the rest of the year.
There's got to be some reason we're keeping that mental midget, right? Right?
Well, once you got Pomerantz, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, yeah.
Because they're not even pitching him.
Yeah. They're not even using him in the bullpen either.
No, I don't even think he's thrown in a month.
Yeah. So Rick Porcello, we haven't been kind to Rick Porcello
Yeah,
on this show.
you're right
No, we
about
haven't been
that.
kind on the show. And we're being kind.
Yeah.
He's pitched really well. And obviously we've ragged on him because he's got a huge salary. He makes like $22 million a
But he's
year.
pitched all-star well, I think.
Absolutely.
He's got great production, but the reason why people still criticize him is the peripheral things. Like last night, opening up the game, a couple of singles, He doesn't seem to be in control of the game.
Well, he's
But
not a
somehow he
shutdown
wins.
guy. He's not a shutdown guy. It's
But
not-
then he struck out the heart of the order, three, 4, and 5 batters with those two guys on. It was an awesome little display.
I mean, what can you... I mean, he's... What's he, 12 and 2 or
Yeah.
something?
Yeah, you have to start taking notice of the fact.
But
Look,
sooner or later, we have to give him...
Oh, credit
Yeah.
where credit's due. I mean, winner is a winner.
Yeah. Because look, we see these pitchers who are pitching on other teams. The San Francisco Giants wheeled out one Jake Peavy, if you remember that.
Yeah.
From
He was
long
a
ago.
battler, though.
He was a battler in 2013. Well, sports fans, he's still on a roster collecting large amounts of money. And did you know
Shaking off pitches.
in Spanish, Jake Peavy is Clay Buchholz. So
Yeah, Jake just can't beat a good hitter.
No.
A good hitter that wants
He's
to
not gonna
challenge
play-
him.
he can't put anything
do it.
by him.
Yeah.
But that just shows you guys who can stay in the league who are done, right? So, like your point was, there's not a lot of pitching out there,
Right.
Yeah. So a guy like Rick Porcello is worth $22 million right now.
Yeah.
All right, so-
Well, I mean, is he just as... Everybody's talking about the knuckleballer, but, I mean, this guy's been right there.
yeah. So is he our second starter?
I'd say
I
yes.
would say
Yeah.
yes. Stephen
He
Wright's
hasn't
been
done
number
anything
one.
to not be.
Okay, so if the playoffs started today, now I know what Uncle Joe thinks about this.
I don't trust
The playoffs
Price.
start today. Who pitches the first game?
Price.
Price, right?
Yes, it will, but I'd rather he wasn't.
Right.
I don't trust him at all.
No,
But
he's the guy.
It's not right, but it's not based on production, obviously, in the season. But you got to go with David Price. You're paying him the most, right? Okay. Who's number 2? Is it Stephen Wright or Rick Porcello?
I'd go with Porcello.
Wow. That's a tough one.
It's a very tough one. And I only say that because, how the vagaries of the knuckleball, you live by the knuckleball, die by the knuckleball.
Exactly.
And you can't afford that in a playoff situation.
Well, you can afford it in the third game, maybe.
Yeah, because we worry because those games are a lot of 3-2, 2-1 games, and knuckleball's going to give up a run or two. Not even giving up a hit.
If you don't remember, Wakefield was left off the roster altogether.
Right.
Dude, 2 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, they couldn't depend on him.
Yeah, they kept Timlin on instead of him.
So really, right now, the rest of the season, if we're saying the Red Sox are going to make the playoffs, is really a audition for the 3rd spot.
We're pretty excited about these playoffs.
Look, I didn't think the Red Sox were capable of reeling off 6 wins with that pitching staff. Once they were able to do that, that really has changed my attitude toward this team. Right?
Well, plus, I think Baltimore's having some struggles on the mound,
Well, they're
too.
very similar teams. Toronto, Boston, and Baltimore got great lineups.
It's going to get
and
fun
lousy
around here.
pitching.
It's going to get fun.
It is going to get fun around here. Yeah. All right. So in the more conspiracy theories, there's one Heath Hembry. I don't know if you know his name. He's only pitched for the Red Sox pretty much the whole year, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So when he first came out, he was actually acquired for Jake Peavy, right? A couple of years back. When he first came to the Red Sox, and I think it was one of those games that in September that only I was watching. Okay. That he was throwing 85 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's perfect for September, right?
Yeah.
He's now throwing about 96, 97 miles an hour. He has a 1.89 earned run average, fellas.
He changed his arm slot.
Better production through pharmaceuticals.
Yeah. He's a little bloated, and I don't know what his back looks like, but it could be a little scattered, okay? And the Red Sox will not put him in any pressure situation, not even a hold.
Well, maybe it's because of his mental makeup that they don't put him in a high leverage position.
But
They're saving him as a secret weapon.
Yeah.
But you can see I'm creating smoke. Is there fire in my... Is this kind of a situation where if this guy were, in theory, a player in the Red Sox to get jammed up, that they don't want to be accountable for saying that this guy was a key contributor to the team and
But
taint
you
the season?
still want to get as much out of the guy as you could while you could.
But
right?
they're not doing that.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, there's some other guys that could be tested, too, that are playing a lot.
No, but I'm saying they're not putting a guy who's showing great production on the field. They're not putting him in positions that he's deserving.
They're not taking advantage of his production.
No, there's other guys going in there when he looks like the guy for that situation.
Yeah, right. It's a little suspicious. You only get that on this show. You only get that stuff on the show.
No
Nobody's
one else
bringing
has
that-
the courage.
No, they don't.
Lay that out there.
Yeah, right.
You want him to be the closer now?
Nobody has the lack of sponsors to worry about. So
Makes a big difference in what
yeah,
comes out.
it sure does. All right, so we talked about John Farrell, and obviously I'm not a huge fan of John Farrell for reasons on the field and off the field. All right, so is John Farrell safe for the rest of the year?
Yes, guaranteed.
Yeah, I thought if we didn't lose him by the All-Star game, he was going to be here for the duration.
Okay.
Yeah, during the season is almost never the time to make managerial changes.
Yeah, no,
We'll
but
wait
he
till
was,
the end.
it was getting like, wait, what did he do? What's he?
Yeah.
Some of the things
When
you
they started that
questioned
game,
him.
that bases loaded with nobody out, and he's hitting guys I never heard of before.
Yeah. And he made
Putting
him.
Pedroia in there as a pinch hitter. And
But could this possibly be a situation where if things go a little south, that Dombrowski kind of makes Lavulo co-manager and,
I
I thought,
you know what I mean?
I thought Tech would be the manager.
yeah, well, that's next year.
I mean, I really liked Lavulu. What he did last year was great. They were young
Yeah.
guys, and it was important, I
And
think,
no
to
pressure,
their development. Everything was nice and loose. But this year, I mean, Farrell has to be running things by him before he makes a move. There's got to be
Yeah.
a little bit of a give and take on that.
I'm sure Lavulo is
He's
just as complicit in every one of these game decisions that we question.
Yeah, and then my conspiracy theory goes on even further. all of a sudden, Nesson, do you notice Nesson shows every time him and Mookie Betts and Lavulo and their little fancy relationship where they talk and hug and do this stuff, and they always show that.
No.
Yeah, they always show
First base
that.
coach creeps me out a little bit.
Yeah, oh yeah. Right. I wish he was back to being a Joe Mitchell because he was the worst in baseball, and it'd be very helpful to get some players from him. With that Ruben Amaro, right?
Yeah. Well, maybe he can get a job again, and we can use him as like a trade partner, like Gene Hayes with Kevin McHale.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just kind of weird, but it's not a coincidence that they keep on showing when Lavulo and Betts are talking about their relationship. I think it's a little setup. I'm just saying
A setup for
the transition to Lavulo. I think they like.
And I don't think Lavulo's the best man for the job either. He did all right last year, but I don't see him as any improvement.
Yeah, it's easy to manage.
That's why I wouldn't make the move.
I mean, look, they are only a half a game out. It's hard to criticize.
No. Farrell's done well to this point.
In spite of himself, he's done a great job, right?
Well, in spite of they've had a lot of injuries. The lack of depth was exposed, but I think the GM has addressed those issues.
He's done a lot of things about having to rest guys, getting ready for schedule-wise and where they're playing. He's done a lot of things like that.
But this Dombrowski, and he's almost like a fan. He has no patience, right? I mean, he's ready to drop the axe or move guys out.
He sent a message in that room, boy.
Right, did he? Right? I mean, you think about it. You have a 25-man roster, and you replace 3 guys in a week.
Yeah.
Well, last year we told Pablo and Hanley, go on home. You're hurt.
Yeah.
We don't want you here. That was the best thing that could have happened to Lavulo.
And he was willing to eat the whole Sandoval thing.
Yeah. But he made Hanley
go home.
Obey. But he made Hanley obey this year.
You're going to play first. Farrell. Yeah, you're going to play first, and that's it, or you're not going to play.
Yeah, Dombrowski's a very imposing figure.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's up there all alone in the box. He scares me. I'm watching on TV.
He's got the nice suit on. He's got the hair. Yeah. That was a good hire. Okay.
Yes, I agree.
I mean, right. I mean, we're
Dombrowski.
Yeah, Dombrowski.
We are loving him today.
We are loving him today.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll try to get sponsors
killing him
again.
next week, but today,
I can't tell you how the Red Sox season tickets that I sell are just selling right now. I love you. All right, we got to go to the Celtics because Todd would be so angry if we don't mention the Celtics. All right, we have to. It's kind of a funeral here. For one, the big fatty is gone, Jared Sullinger, and this is just an absolute complete waste of extreme ability to
look at the money Evan Turner got. He's got to be looking at that and say, I just ate myself out of
himself right out of
$80 million. $80 million. I threw it away.
Ate himself right out of town.
Yeah, right, exactly. There's no excuse for that, right?
Because he looked good right up to about halfway through the season.
Yeah.
And then he said, to hell with it.
Right. And he's another guy that we talk about, that you can really increase your value as a player during the playoffs, good or bad.
Crowder show up.
Well, they sat him on the bench. They wouldn't even use him.
Look what Crowder's done with it.
Right. Yeah. Crowder got a big contract from it, right? He's a big name.
Evan Turner got a huge contract.
Now all of a sudden, Crowder, they're dangling him to get big guys.
Yeah, right.
Geez, this guy last year he couldn't get a job. I mean, really?
Yeah, because
he was a throw-in for Rondo.
But that just shows you. But that's the same in the NHL too. The spotlight is truly on the NHL and the NBA during the playoffs. Right, these are long seasons during the winter. It's tough to concentrate on.
You can make a career on your playoff performance.
Right, and Sullinger's a guy who didn't do it. He's now out the door in purgatory to me, Toronto. Nobody cares in Toronto, and it's well deserved. So for you kids out there, if you give an effort, you get results. Otherwise, you end up in Toronto. So there you go. All right. Obviously I'm not very happy about our third pick in the draft, Jaylen Brown, but I was willing to give him a chance. So I watched some of the summer league games. And
you stayed up that late at night?
And I've made a bumper sticker. Jaylen Brown can't shoot.
Yeah.
Exclamation point.
But he didn't have he wasn't terrible in the summer league.
No, but he cannot shoot. He can't shoot jump shots, he can't shoot three-pointers, and he can't shoot free throws. Oh, that's a nice pick.
Free throws he needs to shoot because he picks up a lot of fouls.
Right. Yeah. So why didn't we pick up? And then a guy like Chris Dunn looks like a superstar.
Yeah, but how many guys can you put on one roster? I know you'd use them for trade bait to get someone bigger, but no one was willing to trade with him at the time, so that would have been taking a big gamble that you would have been having a 12-man roster of all guards.
Yeah, but if Danny was thinking about the bigger picture and thinking about acquiring, Blake Griffin or Boogie Cousins, why didn't he pick Chris Dunn?
Why didn't he pick Princeton? That's a good question. I mean, they really, really saw something with this kid that nobody else seemed to have seen.
Right. They fell in love, and you know I hate when they.
But he's young. He's very young. He's very raw. What's he?
He's very intelligent. I guess he's intelligent.
Right. All right. So before we end the show, Boogie, Westbrook, or Griffin? If the Celtics acquire one, who's coming to the Boston Celtics?
I'd say none of them probably. It's a long shot, a real long shot for any of them. But the best chances would be maybe a 20% chance to get Griffin.
I agree.
A 15% chance to get Boogie Cousins.
Yeah.
And 5% to get Russell Westbrook.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow, because the Westbrook talk is...
Unless they roll out Tom Brady.
Right.
And it's nice, isn't it nice to know that Tom did make a difference?
He did, yeah.
Because we were all a little worried.
Well, I almost, I had no hopes they'd ever get Durant, but when I heard that, I said, wait a minute.
And Tom Brady...
Danny Ainge wouldn't even have asked Tom Brady unless they were fairly close.
As a Bostonian, Tom
I
Brady
wish we
talked
knew that
up
whole
our
story.
town the way he did. He's not even from here. He's from California.
Yeah.
That he talked it up like that in a meeting with Kevin
Brookline
Durant.
zone.
That man, God, I can't love him anymore.
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady. God bless you. And Brookline Zone. So that's our show for you tonight. As usual, I want to thank the boys. I want to thank everyone behind the scenes, including Adrian and Todd, and our special guests behind the scenes, my great friend, stand-up comedian Mike Capizola. We'll be back next week at the same time. Please check us out on our website at thegrandstanders.com and tune in again in August 10th for Kevin Booth.
Football
We'll be back on the
season,
show.
right?
Answer all those
Football
Martellus
season.
Bennett questions.
Yeah, so hopefully Martellus Bennett will come. So that's our time for tonight. Have a great night. I'm your host, Scott Curran. I'm Scott Curran. Have a great and happy night. The elephants are in town.